honoured to be with you at the Big Day in event here, focused on Victoria, my home state. And as Geraldine said, this topic is skills required to thrive in the future. I'm coming to you from the Kulin Nation, and I'm in the heart of what Wurundjeri people often referred to as Melbourne. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners and custodians of the land of which we meet today, and also pay my respect to elders past and present. One of my great pleasures of working in the IT industry is that occasionally you get to give away some pretty cool prizes, and today I'm going to be giving away either a 12-month subscription to the Adobe Creative Cloud, which is worth just under $1,000 retail, or if you already have access to the Creative Cloud, which is every Victorian Department of Education secondary school, you might prefer to have the prize, which is Adobe Stock. 12 months access to images, audio files, 3D assets, and more for your future productions. So the way you can get one of these prizes is you need to answer a question that I'm going to be posing a little bit later through a QR code. So looking forward to seeing if you can get that answer. So make sure you're listening very carefully and even taking some notes if you would like to. Now, I spent 23 years in Melbourne as a teacher, and I've been at Adobe as their senior education specialist for the last 8 years. So that's how old I am. One of the many things I do like about working in the IT industry is the diverse range of ages, of life experiences of people I work with. Now, in my team, we have interns who are still at university. We have people who are still in their 20s. We have people who are even older than I am in my team, if you can believe that. And we come from all sorts of backgrounds. We have law degrees in our team, business degrees, economics degrees, arts degrees, computer science degrees, and some who have never even actually done a formal degree at a university, but are really good with people and really good with technology and really good at mixing the two together. They're the sort of things we're looking for in the IT industry. People who love to learn and people who learn how to learn and learn really well. So a lot of our people, even though they've done a degree, or if they haven't done a degree, they'll do short courses at TAFE. They'll get micro-credentialing. They'll just keep learning through the process, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for lifelong learners. And then there's me on the team, and I've been a primary teacher, I've been a secondary teacher, I've been a university lecturer, and I've been a school administrator. Now I want to find out about you guys, so I've got a challenge for you now. Get your phones out, go into camera mode, and like you do every time you go and visit a location anywhere in the world these days, go and scan that QR code now, and that'll open up a poll. And I want to find out your responses to a series of statements, range statements, and start filling out that poll. Now, if you can't scan the code, you can go to minty.com and use the number code there, 45366506. That'll get you into the poll as well. I'm just checking to make sure the poll is open. It looks like it's open, so you should have access. The range statements include, I know what I want to do for a job in the future. Strongly disagree, strongly agree. Learning IT skills at school will help me with my future employment opportunities. Strongly disagree, strongly agree. And we've got a couple of people who have started filling out that and putting in their results straight away, which is good. Once we've got about maybe, 10 or so, I'm going to bring the results up to the share screen to see what you're saying. So keep going with it. The other statement there is, I already earn money doing what I'm passionate about. Strongly disagree, strongly agree. I work well with a team. Strongly disagree, strongly agree. We've got 4 people who've submitted, 5 now have submitted. So looking for another 5 before I bring the results up. I think I'm creative. Strongly disagree, strongly agree. I have a passion for coding. Strongly disagree, strongly agree. I have a passion for design. Strongly disagree, strongly agree. I'm encouraged to use Adobe applications at my school. Strongly disagree, strongly agree. So the results, we've got 8 people now, 9 people, just about to get to our 10th. So I'm going to bring it across to the shared screen. And if you still need the reference, it's down the bottom of the screen there. You can see the minty.com and the code. So let's have a look at the results we've got so far. I know what I want to do in the future. Most of you do. 1 of you definitely doesn't. 2 of you, 3 of you don't. What have we got? Only 1 in the middle there, but most of you tend to know what you want to do in the future, which is actually quite unique. So well done. Learning IT skills at school will help me in the future of employment. Well, 8 of you agree with that and 2 of you disagree with that. That's really interesting. Next one. I already earn money doing what I'm passionate about, and I'm so pleased to see that 5 of you agree with that. You're already starting to earn money while you're at school doing what you're passionate about. You're turning your passion into a job. That's awesome. A lot of you disagree with that, and maybe that's something you might want to think about. I work well with a team, and we've got everyone on the agree side with 4 in the middle there, but no one's disagreeing with that, which is great to hear. I think I'm creative. Wow, look at that. 9 of you agree that you're creative. 1 of you kind of doesn't agree, and 3 of you are in the middle there. I have a passion for coding. We have quite a spread here. Hey, I just want to make out the point here. You don't have to have a passion for coding to be in the IT industry at all. In fact, most of the team that I work with don't know how to code at all, but they're really great with people and they know how to get coding done when it needs to be done. So don't think that's a prerequisite to being involved in IT. I have a passion for design. Now, this is really cool. It's great to see. We've got 9 people who agree that they have a passion for design. If you've got skills in design and coding, oh my goodness, you are so employable. That really is what we're looking for. People who are creative, who've got those design skills and a passion for learning more about design, but also can code. Wow, that's awesome. And the last one here, I'm encouraged to use Adobe applications in my school, and we've got a really even spread. We've got 6 of you who are on the agree side and 6 of you who are on the disagree side and 3 kind of in the middle. Oh, well, let's see if we can push that along a little bit during this session. Thank you for doing that. That's terrific. It gives me a real sense of where you guys are at. Now, I want to do a quiz with you, a little bit of a guessing game. And I want you to go to the what is it, the comment section, or the show, what is it, the show and the Q&A section. And I want you to guess who's behind this blue wall. And Calvin, if you can bring up the results as soon as we've got it. I'm going to start revealing the blue wall a little bit at a time. So you can see a little bit of the person now, and then I want you to start guessing who it is. Okay, we're seeing a little bit more of this person now. Who is this person in the wall? Just bringing up the Q&A, see if anyone's got a result yet. No one's guessed yet. So I'm going to reveal again, see who's going to be the first one to guess who it is. Revealing a bit more of the blue wall. Who is behind the wall? Come on, folks. Oh, well done, Anonymous. Oh, that's a fantastic name. Did your mother name you that, Anonymous? It is Billie Eilish behind that blue wall, and she is an amazing person. In fact, we've just partnered with Billie on a brand new project. We've done 3 partnerships with Billie, which is pretty amazing because she's still not even 20 years old herself, and Adobe have partnered with her on 3 different occasions. Let's have a look at the most recent partnership we've done with Billie.
For me, creativity starts with what ifs. Like, what if it takes place in a white void? Or maybe beige? No, black. What if there's fire? Did that already. What if there are some old cars? Or not? Let's see that in slow motion. Yeah, it's too much. What if it's in suburbia? That's not right. What about my look? Meh. That's cool. What if it happens in the rain? Yeah, this is it. Now, create what's true to you.
Billie is an example of someone who, at a very young age, worked out what she was good at, what her passions were, and developed some outstanding communication and creativity skills, turning her passion into a job well before she finished any formal education. Adobe have partnered with Billy on a few occasions, as I said, and the latest, most recent partnership, she has been helping us with a Creative Cloud campaign aiming at encouraging everyone to be digitally creative and to create what's true to you. What's fascinating is that Billy and her brother Phineas have both discovered what their passions were. They had a passion for songwriting and recording, and they have both become very successful at developing a range of skills and turning their passion into a job. One of the great pleasures I have in my job is I get to visit schools and universities, well, now visit online, but used to be face-to-face and hopefully will be again soon, around Australia and Southeast Asia and into the United States of America, meeting students who are very creative, doing their schoolwork as well as turning their passions into a job. They're photographers, they're video makers, they're coders, they're graphic designers. They're not waiting for school to finish or for university to be completed to get a formal qualification. They're setting up their small businesses and their startup companies and doing school at the same time. They're turning their passions into a job. They're developing a whole range of different skills and applying those skills while they're still at school. Skills that will help them thrive in the future, no matter what they do down the track. Now, the topic of this presentation is skills required to thrive in the future. And I'm about to share with you a list of what has been widely recognised as the most important skills to thrive in the future workplace. The World Economic Forum has been researching this for many years, and this is what they came up with back in 2016. You're about to see back in 2016 what they predicted will be the future most important skills to thrive in 2020 and beyond. Fifth most important skill, coordinating with others, teamwork. Fourth most important skill, people management, leadership. Very much related to collaboration and teamwork as well. Third most important skill, creativity. This isn't Adobe talking here. Obviously, we want to push creativity because we are the world's largest digital creativity software company. But this is the World Economic Forum, a whole bunch of politicians and business leaders who get together every couple of years. Second most important skill, critical thinking, thinking for yourself, not just accepting everything that you read online or see on the screen or even hear from people who are with you at school. Thinking for yourself and getting other opinions and following up on those opinions. And the most important, complex problem solving. Now, they did another study. In fact, the World Economic Forum linked with LinkedIn and Microsoft, which owns LinkedIn, and they did a study on soft skills, the most important of the soft skills. This is a much more recent study. Let's have a look at these. Time management, adaptability, collaboration, persuasion, and look what made the number one, creativity, thinking outside the square. Being creative. Anyone can be creative. You can learn how to be creative. And when you work with Adobe tools, they encourage you to be digitally creative. And we'll go through some examples of that in a minute. These skills are often called soft skills. I prefer to call them vital skills. And it's interesting that we did a study just a couple of years ago where we looked at 2 million job advertisements and 2 million resumes over 18 different types of careers. And we found that skills like collaboration, communication, creativity are highly sought after by up to 70% of hiring managers. But only a small fraction of applicants featured these skills in their resumes or in their interview conversations. When you get a chance to do a job interview, try to share your communication and your creativity skills. Note that in this particular interview that you're seeing on the screen, that the resume has a little image on it. Now, there's a bit of debate as to whether you should put your image on your resume. I tend to think that not only should you put your image on your resume, you should also have a link to a video of you explaining why you should get the job over someone else. Brand yourself as much as you can in a creative way. Let's have a look at this example.
Hi, my name's Krista Timmerman, and this is my story. I'm a Jersey girl, born and raised by the shore. Growing up, I was a classically trained singer. When I was older, I loved the flashy New York life and the gritty rock scene of Asbury Park. After some street team activities for a local band, I began to see the big picture, and I knew I wanted to work in the entertainment industry.
All right, I love that example of a video resume, a link to a video that's on your resume that people can look at and say, yeah, whether I want to employ that. Notice that Krista, in this case, hid her face, although her face appears later on when she shows her Facebook profile. But a great example of showing the skills that you've got in a creative way. Now go to the chat, go to the Q&A, and I want you to tell me what applications do you think she used to build that video resume. Go to the chat now. List any of the applications that you think she used to build that resume, and I'll tell you whether you're right or not as we're looking at it. We've got Photoshop by Anonymous. That anonymous person is doing very well. Photoshop, yeah, absolutely. To get those images correct for the video would have definitely been used by Krista to put that together. What other applications? Adobe Premiere Pro was used to actually stitch the whole thing together. It's probably now the most commonly used video editing application in film and television, which is just awesome. We've got a question there which we'll answer later. After Effects was used for the special effects. Thank you. What else have we got? Other contributions here. And I think that's all that people are bringing up to me, but you're absolutely right. The other applications would have been possibly Illustrator to actually put in some of the designs as well for that particular video. So how can you stand out from the crowd and show off your skills and your passions? The Adobe Creative Cloud, which is all of those applications we just mentioned and a whole lot more, is now available to all Victorian Department of Education secondary schools at no cost to the schools. This is also the case for all New South Wales government schools. Well, New South Wales and Victorian governments have seen the value in providing these tools for their students and their teachers to give them the opportunity to develop more digital literacy, communication, and most importantly, creativity skills, and allow their students to brand themselves with industry standard software and be better prepared for the future workforce. Most independent and Catholic schools have purchased access to the Adobe Creative Cloud for many of their students. So if you don't currently have a license, see if you can get access from your IT support team. If that's too difficult, you can always start with free access to Adobe Spark. So what is the Creative Cloud? Well, I like to call it a digital makerspace for design, for collaboration, for problem solving, for communication, and most importantly, for creativity. I want you to see all the things there that you can actually create with Adobe Creative Cloud. Look at them, from AR, VR, desktop publishing, PDF manipulation, web design, app design, audio editing, photography, image manipulation, graphic design, video editing, illustration, UI and UX experiences. The Adobe Creative Cloud is 23 different desktop applications and laptop applications, 23 mobile apps, and 11 apps and resources. I like to break it down into two different categories: the low lift and high impact apps that need no instruction to create great results quickly, like Adobe Spark. The Adobe professional apps are also, we've already talked about Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign. They're used at the highest level. Here's a couple more low lift apps: Premiere Rush and Character Animator. And I love it when history teachers say, instead of writing an essay for this assignment, I want you to create a video with Adobe Spark or Premiere Rush. I love it when students say to their teachers, do I have to use PowerPoint again? Like, I've been using PowerPoint since I was in prep. Do I really need to use it again? Can I create a mobile app instead with Adobe XD, for instance? I love it when English teachers say, instead of presenting a traditional book report, this time I want you to use Adobe Audition to create a podcast about the book and why you recommend it. I love it when science teachers say, let's turn this science experiment into a myth-busting video story with Premiere Rush, or even Adobe Character Animator, real-time animation. Such a cool app. I love it when maths teachers say, now, use Adobe Spark or InDesign to create an infographic that explains how we can solve this particular problem. I love it when geography teachers say, instead of writing in your journal about this geography unit, I want you to create a digital portfolio with Adobe Spark or Acrobat or Adobe Portfolio, which is another brilliant resource as part of the Creative Cloud. That's how teachers encourage students to be creative and engage with their curriculum to be better prepared for the future. When all of the above media is regularly used to help communicate in a wide variety of industries. If you ever need any help, beginner's guides or advanced tutorials for any of the Creative Cloud apps, look up the helpx.adobe.com, the Adobe Help Center, helpx.adobe.com. It's a one-stop shop for any support. Just in case your teachers can't help you with Adobe products, this site should be able to help you at all. If you are new to the world of Adobe, or if you are just wanting to get video stories, posters and web pages made really quickly without needing to worry too much about learning the tool or about design, or use the Adobe Spark tools. I've mentioned them several times already. I tend to be working more these days with English teachers and humanities teachers as they discover the power of Adobe Spark as a multimodal text solution. And it's a simple but high impact tool when it comes to digital literacy, communication and creativity. For any teacher who is out there listening at the moment, last year we launched the Adobe Creative Educator Program, the ACE program. Look it up, adobe.ly/ACE. We had 15 professors, PhDs and other experts in the field of creativity and education help us put this free and virtual badging course together. And at this stage, we've had about just over 30,000 teachers enroll in this particular program. And it takes about 2 hours to do level 1. And I recommend all teachers should do at least level 1 of the ACE program. The Adobe Creative Educator program is part of the Adobe Education Exchange, edx.adobe.com, which now boasts over 1 million teachers as members. Students, make sure your teachers know about this free portal so they can get their learnings up about how to use these tools in the classroom. As I mentioned earlier, creativity has consistently been one of the most important skills for you to develop and foster to help you thrive in the future, no matter what you do, whether you end up in the IT industry or any other part of the world. Anyone can develop their creative potential. Creativity and critical thinking can be learned, even if you feel you are not naturally creative. And Adobe tools are here to help you. The only time we don't encourage creativity is if you end up becoming an accountant. Only kidding. Folks, keep being creative, and I'm looking forward to some great Q&A. All right, now I just realized that I haven't brought up the QR code for the quiz question, which is I should have done, but while you're getting your questions in the Q&A, I'm going to stop sharing for the moment and I'm going to bring up that QR code so that you can try and win that prize. Let's see what the questions are, folks.
Yep. Thank you, Tim, for your amazing presentation. We have a few questions here. Do you miss being a teacher in the classroom?
Let's see. What I miss in the classroom is I miss the relationships with the students and the teachers. I miss the community side of things, but I don't miss the marking. I have to admit, I don't miss the yard duties. No, I actually quite enjoyed yard duties. But look, there's a lot of great things I do miss about being a teacher. But now I get to go and work with schools all over the world and universities all over the world. So I get to mix with all sorts of teachers.
Yeah. Why is it relevant for people to put their images on their resume?
I think it just helps with the creativity of the resume and the branding of it, and it's important when you're wanting to get a job and you're going through that interview process to try and stand out from the crowd. And kind of the way to do that is to do something a little bit different. Now, if you're not happy with your image to be on it, that's fine, but think of another creative way that you can stand out, because we get hundreds of resumes virtually every month that we need to process in just my part of Adobe. And so I look for the creative ones, and they're the ones that go to the top of the list. If they've got an image, if they've got a link to a video, they go to the top of the list. They're almost guaranteed an interview if they've done something creative. If it's just a boring PDF, sometimes we don't even read them.
Yeah. What is the best app to use for making a video for your resume?
Well, the ultimate's Premiere Pro, but it is quite a challenge to learn Premiere Pro because it is a professional app. So that's why we created Premiere Rush. And it's a great app to work with just on your phone. You can even film with a special camera that's built into Premiere Rush on your phone. If you find Rush too difficult, Spark Video is a very basic video editing app.
Yeah. What Adobe products would you recommend to start learning as a beginner?
Spark. Absolutely. And Spark is available free for all schools. Spark.adobe.com/edu will show the schools how to make sure they get access for all of their students. But if you're over 13, you can access it free now anyway, just because you can go through Google, through your Facebook, through your Apple, through your Adobe ID, and that's all free. But you need to be 13 to do it that way, which is why we encourage schools to do it properly, so they're under 13s can also access Spark totally for free.
What is your favorite thing to do when you're working at Adobe?
I like doing these sorts of things. I really like presenting. I prefer presenting face to face, but I do really enjoy the Big Day In events because I get to impact thousands of students around the country and travel around. We haven't been able to do that as much these days. In fact, I've only had one trip this year when a couple of years ago I was traveling nearly every week somewhere in the world to present and to share the value of these tools. Now, Geraldine, before we go any further, I just will need to share that QR code for the prize, but I'm going to have to do that probably after the next presenter, or I'm going to send it to Kerry so that she can make sure it gets published as a QR code to scan. Over the weekend, my hard drive got corrupted and I lost so much work. So I've been rebuilding all my slide decks based on backups, and unfortunately in my session from last time didn't get backed up for some reason, so I've lost that access to that code, and I apologize. So I'll make sure that gets done in the next hour or the next 20 minutes, and that Kerry gets it so that someone can scan the code and potentially win that great prize.
Yeah. Would you like Calvin to put in the old form link in the chat?
That'd be good. Yeah, do that. Because that'd be a quicker way to do it. So if you do that now, Calvin, if you put that form link, so it won't be a QR code, folks, it'll be a link in the chat. If you do that, you'll go to a Microsoft form, and then you can put in your answers. So the key question in the form for you to win the prize from memory is, besides creativity, name two other skills that are important to thrive in the future. I think that's the key question in the form, but you'll need to put in your email address as well, and a teacher's name and email address so we can verify that you are from that school, and then I will randomly select who the winner is. So is that form gone into the Q&A now, Geraldine?
Yeah, that's been published, yeah.
Good, so make sure you get access to that. I'm just looking through the publish section here myself to see. There it is, beautiful. It's a long URL, but click on that. It's going to save me from doing the QR code. I do apologize. That's what happens when you lose all your data over a weekend. IT, couldn't live without it. We thrive with it, but sometimes things do go wrong. Folks, thank you for the opportunity to share with you, and make sure you listen carefully to all the other presenters. They'll have all sorts of other insights from other perspectives, other companies, big and small, from all over this region of the world. Thanks, folks, and don't forget to keep being creative.